So we are going to take you right back to the absolute basics now when we're talking about you and your teenagers. So any of you who have done any kind of psychology work or looked at your teenagers' homework will recognise this pyramid as being based on Maslow's hierarchy of need. So Abraham Maslow proposed this theory way back in 1943, but it's just as relevant today as it was back then. So the basic idea is that the needs lower down on this pyramid must be satisfied before individuals can attend to their needs higher up. So if a young person's basic needs are not being met, they will have little or no opportunity to reach their potential. There is a lot of evidence about why children living in poverty don't do well in school. And actually looking at this, it's really obvious to see that if they're worried about where their next meal is going to come from, how are they supposed to focus on a maths project? So let's just look at that basic bottom line of this pyramid: water, food, warmth, and rest. So let's think about these basics before anything else around bringing up our teenagers. So is breakfast available? Is their bed and their duvet clean and comfortable? And this is where nurture really plays a huge part in all of this. Those little tiny things, never underestimate them. They can make such a huge difference. I know that most teenagers live in their bedrooms and their bedrooms are an absolute state, but simple things like making their bed for them or opening a window can make them feel so much better. I get there are times that you may not want to do this. They made that mess, let them live in it. But we all know that feeling of getting into a clean bed, when your bedding's just been washed, when you've had a rough day. And our children need this feeling too. And believe it or not, your teenagers still want to spend time with you. Yes, of course, they're on their phone, their laptop, they're playing games, they're talking to their friends, they're watching YouTube, they're eating snacks, and they're doing all this while convincing you that they're doing homework. But they are still looking to you for guidance. So role model having water with you, taking time out to do things that you like, making your bed in the mornings, all those basic needs. You need to be role modeling those to your teenagers. So many families have found that shared meals as a family have become a bit of a luxury that they've lost. Sitting around the dining table, if you even have one, every night as a family can seem like something out of a storybook. Some of the reason of that may be the pace of life. You and your children have so many competing demands on your time. You're running here, there, and everywhere that sometimes it's really hard to find an hour each evening when you can all be together. So thinking about the food part of this, let's just take that pressure off. Maybe just try once a week or once a month even to eat as a family. Even that will have a huge impact. Try and find one night, mark it on the calendar and commit to it. Maybe ask a different member of the family each week or each month to plan that meal. Get them to do the shopping, to lay the table, or help with the preparation. That shared responsibility. Your family is a team. It shouldn't just be down to you. Things like TikTok, they're full of great recipe ideas that your teenager may want to share with you. But actually, even 3 or 4 different microwave meals on the sofa, eaten at the same time, is something. One of the positive side effects of sharing family meals is that it really does allow everyone there to feel valued and appreciated. That's a core need for teenagers that you have managed to find just an hour to give to them. It's that emotional warmth that they need. And rest is also on the bottom part of this pyramid. So we saw that from the teenager brain slide. Teenagers need sleep, and our advice, let them. Unless there's a real need for them to be out of bed in the morning, like school or a job, obviously, just let them sleep. You and they will feel much better for it. So we just want to leave you tonight with these final messages that young people going through the process of adolescence need what they've always needed from their parents. They want your love, your support, your encouragement, your nurture, your acceptance, and your attention. And the difference for teenagers is that while younger children need their parents to be in the lead, pulling them along and directing their steps and making all those important decisions, teenagers need us to be by their side, give them the chance to stride out in front. but be there to take the reins and the lead when necessary. Your teenagers really want to be noticed by you. Too often, because they're being moody and they withdraw into themselves, we respond by ignoring them. If they're rude to us, we might swap rooms and ignore them again. And ignoring bad behaviour and not rising to it is one thing. Ignoring the person who is annoying us is something different. And it becomes a pattern, doesn't it? When they mope, we ignore them, so they mope even more because we're convinced that they do not care. And they're convinced that we do not care. So it does become a bit of a vicious cycle. So we want to leave you with just 4 basic guidelines tonight, really, to think about. Please make sure they know that you love them and you're proud of them. You cannot tell them this enough. They need to hear it. Even when things are busy and stressful and it feels like you're in survival mode, a word or a hug can reassure them a huge amount. Praise them for what they do well while encouraging them to do new things. While you're giving this outpouring of love, they may well shrug you off or look embarrassed, but still try and do it. Be honest with them, especially about your feelings. You do not have to be perfect. There are hundreds of parenting manuals out there telling you lots of different things, but you do not have to be perfect. We all get things wrong. We all shout, we say unkind things from time to time. If this happens, say sorry to your teenager afterwards and explain why it happened. And they will hopefully learn from you that it's okay to make mistakes and that it doesn't make you a bad person. If you're struggling with something, let them see this and let them see how you work it through to get to a solution. So be clear in your house about what is and what is not acceptable and tell them why. Teenagers really need to know what is okay and what is not, and what will happen if they cross that line. Follow through on what you say, because otherwise they're going to get confused and stop respecting those boundaries you're trying to put in. You are still in charge and people feel safe with rules and expectations. Imagine being in, a new unfamiliar building and not knowing where to go or what to do, with no signposting and no one explaining anything to you. That will make you feel very unsafe. And our teenagers need those boundaries wrapped around them to make them feel safe. And remember, you are the parent. Own that role. Do not be afraid to make those tough decisions. If your child sees that you fear their reaction or you always give in to them, it makes them feel powerful, which can be very frightening for all of you. Children need to know that you are there to keep them safe. So we are coming to the end soon of tonight's session. It would be great if when we finish, you could tell your teenager where you've been and what you've listened to. If you can, give your prickly teenager a hug. Just a 20-second hug releases something called oxytocin, which not only creates a strong bond between the two huggers, but it also boosts your immune system. It increases happiness, it reduces blood pressure, and therefore reduces your stress. Offer your teenager a hug and try and hold on for 20 seconds. It's good for them and it's good for you. Tell them why you're doing it.